You know that you must create more content out there for your audience, but you kind of struggle with the imposter syndrome, or you're scared or afraid of creating videos and putting yourself out there, then in this video, I want to walk you through a quick 5-minute exercise that you can do right now, today, after you watch this video, that will help you change your mindset forever when it comes about the way you see yourself when you are creating videos and the trust and belief that you have in yourself and in your abilities, that you have the right things for your audience, for them to watch you and to trust you, and for them to become part of your world. So, that being said, how to stop being scared of creating content. When we look at the online world compared to how it was maybe 2 decades ago when it started, um, there was, for some individuals, we had a massive struggle. We could not act and behave as ourselves because we were scared about the world out there. So in the relationship that we had with our friends, with our people in the real world, we felt that we could not express the way we were. So when the internet came, we discovered a new world. We discovered that now we have the possibility to create the version of ourselves that we would like to put out there and to be safe. So through the internet, through like the likes of the beginnings of Facebook and other social medias, we could have created the image of us that we wanted the world out there to see. But in the past decade, with the changes in the social media and how things are done online, and because we want to grow our business, things actually changed upside down. What it used to be a safe place for us to create the version of ourselves that we wanted the world to see, now it's changed upside down, and internet becomes the scary place where we feel that we must create a version of ourselves that people want to see. So we are now very confused because we don't know how to behave out there in the real world for us to feel safe. And also we don't know anymore how to behave here on the internet to be safe and to perceive as the person that we want to be perceived by people out there. And for us content creators, and I'm referring here to, I don't want to speak about entertainers. This is for you if you are a coach or a therapist and you want to create educational content and you feel like imposter syndrome because you believe that you don't know enough, you don't have enough experience in working with people, so on and so forth, to put it out there. So this is not about entertaining. So what's happening now, we feel that we have to create an image that is accepted by the internet now. We don't feel that I'm creating the version of myself that I want the internet to see. Because with all these experts that came out, everyone is saying that you have to speak like this, you have to behave like this, you have to show like this on the camera, you have to follow this framework, system, so on and so forth. And we have so many of you have to and shoulds and should not to that we don't even understand who we want to be and who we want to, how we want to be perceived by the people in front of us. So essentially, what the experts are saying now, because we are moving even one step further, and I think recently, maybe the past 2 years to say so. Now the same experts they came out and said that okay, internet became it's a very agglomerate place. It's everyone is in there and everyone's doing the same thing. And if you want to be distinguished, now we need to turn it upside down again and we have to be authentic. And now everyone is talking about authenticity. But what is this authenticity? How can you be authentic when you don't even know who you want to be? Because we don't know that we feel that by creating this authenticity, we're questioning, am I good enough to put myself exactly the way I am, to be authentic out there for my audience to perceive me as someone knowledgeable, someone who has the experience, so on and so forth. But what exactly is this authenticity? that they're talking about. How can we be authentic to go out there and overcome our imposter syndrome? Because being authentic means to be ourselves, to be our true selves, okay? But when we are our true selves, we have the imposter syndrome that we're not good enough for what the internet wants to see and what the internet needs. And taking this even one step further, we have another problem. What does it actually mean to be our true selves? Because even if you are conscious or not about it, your mind knows. The problem with being authentic is that which version of you are you going to put out there? The authentic you in business, the authentic you that you go in your communities, the authentic you that you are in your daily life in your family. The problem is that the authentic version of ourselves is like this. There are so many versions of ourselves. We don't have just one version, one full version that we behave exactly in the same way in all the situations and all environments in our life. Some of them, some of the authentic selves are the way we perceive ourselves, what I think about myself, what others believe about ourselves. Then we have the spiritual selves. Then we have the possible selves, what we can become. And then we have the now selves. So which one out of these? You see, things are becoming so confusing. And I promise, even if you don't really understand, you never heard about this, you had no clue about how many versions of you could exist, subconsciously, your mind knows this. Your mind knows that in different situations and environments, you behave differently. And when you tell yourself that I have to be authentic, subconsciously, your mind knows which version of myself should I bring out now to be safe in front of the internet. And that's the point where confusion, anxiety, imposter syndrome comes up into, and you start feeling them. So, to simplify things, okay, we have actually three versions of ourselves that we can think of and that we should think and rely on. So, all you need to remember are these three versions of yourself because this is part of your future exercise that I'm going to talk about. So, types of self-concept, when you think about self, it's your actual self, the person that you are right now in this moment. What do you think and believe about yourself? How do you see yourself right in this moment? Okay. Then we have the old self, what we think that others want us to be. How we think that the people who are watching our content, the people who listen to us, want us to be. What do they see in us and what do they see when they look at us? Okay? And then we have the ideal self, who we strive to be. And we should all have an ideal self. Who is it that I want to be? That top version of myself that I'm constantly chasing. The problem with these three selves and the way things are going now on the internet, and the reason why we struggle with, one of the reasons why we struggle with imposter syndrome when we create content and we're getting scared and afraid to post this content is because between the actual self, the way we perceive ourselves right now, and the old self and ideal self, there's a massive gap. The way we think about ourselves now and what we think that the society wants us to be and the audience right there, we see this as a massive difference. We believe that we are not enough now for what the audience wants to see. And also, we believe that what we are right now in this moment and what the audience wants us to be are completely different and they are so far away from what I want to become. When you are posting content out there, you are posting content from the old self perspective. You are posting from what you believe that the audience wants you to see, but you have absolutely no clue what that audience wants to see from you because guess what? You're not in their minds. So you can't really know what they believe about you. You are gauging this based on likes and views. but they don't tell you the true story, the reality behind their opinion and what they want to see. So because the image of yourself is so distorted, you are far away from everything and you only think from the old self perspective, you start experiencing the I am not good enough. I don't know enough because you are not walking on a straight path from this is my actual self. This is what I think that my audience wants to see, and it's in line with what I am now. And I'm working with this in line to chase my ideal self. The things that I do right now, I do because they are aligned with my ideal self. And because of this distance, we are creating this self discrepancy. We think that we are not good enough. And in here I said that the old self plus ideal self are a self guide. It's because the actual self, who we are now, we must always act in line with this. We have to understand the old self, what we think others want us to be, and the ideal self, who we strive to be, to have them in line. You look at your ideal self and you think what others want us to be. Are they in line? Do I want to behave like this, like others wants me to behave? If if the values are not in line with what the public wants me to be, then I'm not going to change my values because I will always suffer. I will always struggle with all the negative emotions and with this imposter syndrome that I have to create content for the public. I'm not creating from pleasure. I'm not creating from what I know, my knowledge, my experience, but I'm creating from a place where I have to deliver. The have word always going to put pressure on you and it's going to create anxiety, self-doubt, so on and so forth. So, luckily, there is a solution for this. And the solution for this is called strategic self-presentation. The key in here is strategic. Why? We are going back in here. We look at actual self and ideal self. And I said that everything has to be in line. In order for everything to be in line, we must have a strategy. How we can put everything in place. And to do so, how to create your strategic self-presentation, we have these three simple steps, which are part of your exercise. This is the actual exercise that you can do. It only takes you 5 minutes. So what we can do, grab a pen and paper and get crystal clear on your actual self, your old self, and ideal self, and look at them. Are they aligned? Do you actually know them? Can you actually see them? Is everything that you are doing now, the way you are creating content, the way that you are connecting with your audience, are they in line with your values and also with the ideal self who you want to become? If not, what can you change about? Then you have to get crystal clear on your goals. What goals do you have? What do you want to build through your business? What do you want to achieve through creating content and posting content? What is it that you actually want when you sit down and you share a piece of information, you want to share a video? What's the goal of that? And the final step is to align your goals with the right self, right? What is your goal? Do you want, through your content, do you want to build trust? Do you want to attract your audience into your community? Do you want to position yourself as the leader out there, as someone highly knowledgeable that you have experience? What do you actually want to do? Do you want to just purely create content because you want to sell more of your service? What is it that you want to do? And then, are they actually in line with who you are right now and who you want to become? And also with your old self, are they in line? If not, you have to create a strategy how you can bring everything in line. Because I'm telling you, when you realize, when you see it in front of you, and you bring it up into your conscious mind, who you are now with your knowledge and experience and who you want to become becomes much easier to create content because you will not experience the imposter syndrome. You know that what you share now, you share from the perspective of your actual self, from the experience and knowledge that you have gained in the past, and also in this moment, you are working with every step, every goal that you set up, every action that you take to get closer to your ideal self. And by doing so, guess what's happening? You gain skills, knowledge, experience that you can also share. And you know that when you share that stuff, it's the stuff that you are experiencing, the stuff that you are doing already. So it's not stuff that you share just because you read the book and you never had the experience. With myself, if you look through my YouTube channel, you'll see that recently I start creating more and more videos like this where I just speak on the camera and I have this presentation over here. Because guess what? I am not good at creating entertaining videos. I am not good at I know the structure behind how we should formulate a YouTube video, but I don't like creating fancy YouTube videos. I don't have time for editing, for cutting, for creating scripts. I want to come here in front of the camera and share the information that I have gained through my previous past experience, studying, working with my clients, experiencing on myself, so on and so forth. So just turning on the camera, of course, I spent some time preparing this presentation so I know what I'm going to speak about, having a flow of my information, um, having this like bullet points presentation for you to be able to follow through. But I just turn the camera on and I speak from the things that I have done, and I cannot experience this doubt of myself, the imposter syndrome, because I know that whatever it is that I'm talking in here is from my experience. Okay, so I'm simplifying things, and I sat down and instead of trying to create crazy YouTube videos following a script and a framework that a highly successful YouTube content creator shared, that I could not find myself aligning with that, I sat down and I had to identify my ideal self. Who is it that I want to be? How do I want to present myself in front of my audience on YouTube, on school? Which is my ideal self? And I'm not the kind of person that creates fancy content. I just want to share information to be clear and to help you. And therefore, I'm creating videos from this perspective. I'm creating content from this perspective. My knowledge, simple presentation, just turn the camera on and speak freely about the subject. And that's all. Of course, this might not be suitable for everyone. You might have your own style, but guess what? The more you do, the more you'll find your own style. But the very first step is to identify, to get crystal clear on who you are right now, what is your experience, your knowledge, and who you want to become. And then think, what is my, what does my audience needs from me? How do they want me to be there? But guess what? I know that from my perspective, I know that as a educational content creator, it is hard to gain views on YouTube because information doesn't sell as much as entertaining. Seeing cats dancing and singing, seeing the entertainers doing all crazy stuff, jumps, explosions, and all that, that's purely entertaining, that catches you, is totally different. And I'm okay with that. I'm not chasing views. I know that from my ideal self and like from my old self, what the audience wants me to see, that's small, that you can put it in a small, that maybe can fit in a box audience that watches my videos. They need the information. They want to understand things, and I'm fine with that. I am speaking to that kind of person. And this is what you as well should focus on doing. Get clear on yourself, get clear on your goals, and then put them in line. And when you create content from this perspective. And there's one more thing that I want to draw your attention on, when you are identifying your ideal self is that be careful what self you are presenting out there. And I'm saying this because we want to be perceived as knowledgeable and experienced. So the more you present yourself as the perfect leader with no faults, the more you are increasing the self discrepancy in your audience and they'll move away from you. The more you put yourself out there as the person who knows it all and has it done it all and has things perfectly, the more the person that's watching you will create this self discrepancy. They look at their actual self and they look at where they should be and they create the image of where they should be based on your experience, your achievements, and they see themselves so far away and almost like impossible to achieve what you achieved because they currently they are leaving the current experience, the current emotions and the current troubles, and they feel that whatever you have achieved it's so far away from them that I'm not going to achieve it in this lifetime. And they build this self discrepancy and they say it is not possible for me because I'm a special snowflake, like Alex Hormozy says, and I will never be able to do this, so they will move away. Okay? So be careful with what ideal self, what self you are presenting yourself out there. Okay? We don't have to be this perfect version of ourselves. Just put yourself out there the way you are right now and don't be afraid to acknowledge this to your audience, to present yourself to your audience with your goods and bads. Even if you try to do something and it didn't work, just present that to your audience. Show them that you are a human being, perfectly normal, that you are doing the work to grow, to develop, that you have done the work that they need to do and you achieve certain results. And you are continuing to do the work to grow and to develop yourself. Don't position yourself as the perfect leader out there. Okay? This is the last warning. So once you finish watching this video, grab a pen and paper and spend 5 minutes on this. And get yourself in your mind, get yourself clear on who you are right now with your good and bad. And the fact that when you are creating videos, you are creating from the position where you are right now and not from the position that the audience wants you to see, the version of what people want you to see out there. And just share that. That's all for this video. I hope it's helpful and I'll catch you up in the next one.